Welcome to another episode of Placement Diaries. Today we have Shikhar Agnihotri with us. So Shikhar, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Shikhar Agnihotri and recently graduated from SIH'19 in computer science. And currently I'm working at Walmart as a software engineer.
Or at which all places have you interned?
So back in my second year, like towards the end of it, I applied at Hackerrank because I got rejected from GSOC, so I thought कि यार कुछ तो करना है summers में. So I contacted Hackerrank, applied and fortunately got through. So my first internship, software internship, was at Hackerrank, and Hackerrank was really a really nice place to be. And what many people don't know is Hackerrank is a startup. मतलब लोगों को पता नहीं होता, उनको लगता है कि इतने state of the art products हैं उनके and website and they're handling 5 million developers on their coding contests and all. So Hackerrank is still a startup. When I joined back in 2018, their dev team was only of 40 people. So everyone was literally approachable. You could just simply grab your laptop and go to their tables and say ki yaar, could you please look into this. Even the CTO Hari, he used to sit just right across my table. So yeah, you knew everyone out there, and things were really nice. And it was my first time out of home, so went to Bangalore, and their office is near Koramangala. So people who have been to Bangalore would know Koramangala is one of the most happening places in Bangalore. So we used to go on almost every week. Hari used to take us on treats, and we used to roam around and everything. We also went on football trips every week to turf grounds and all. So yeah, and at Hackerrank, the process was I applied on their website, simply sent my resume, and a couple of days after I got an interview scheduled with Hari himself. So Hari, the CTO, was also the India head kind of, and he himself directly sees the internship process very closely. So I had an interview with Hari, a short 20-minute chat, and post that after a few days I got a confirmation that I'll be joining Hackerrank. So about my work out there, so my work at Hackerrank involved, so I guess most of you would have used CodePair, which is a product by Hackerrank, and it's a one-on-one programming thing where interviews ask you questions and you have to type in write everything, and it has a bunch of features. So my work involved adding screen sharing and video calling, multiple user video calling to it. And later I also integrated full stack assessments into CodePair. So it was a very enriching experience, and being a startup, you could everyone, and you knew what each person was working on. So there was never a roadblock out there. So yeah.
So how it feels to work on a project? You can see right now it's mostly used because COVID mein you can't have a pen and paper round, so most of the people are using CodePair. So it must be a great feeling.
Yeah, so जब मेरा Walmart का on-site interview था, on-campus interview, so I told the interviewer about CodePair, and also he was actually impressed that I have he himself was using it right there. So it was a nice obviously a nice to have thing that you've worked on the same product that people are using obviously. And apart from that, I guess my experience from open source helped me to break down projects and all very easily, and contribute and work contribute on a faster pace than other people.
So can you throw some light on the Walmart internship as well?
Yeah, right. So on campus start हुआ third year में third year के starting में, and since I had been to Hackerrank, I had a pretty mild approach कि हाँ निकाल लेंगे on campus, क्या ही होगा, which was actually a very bad approach. So yeah, so Walmart came on campus. I fortunately cleared the first round and went on to the interview. The interview was nice, and also finally got an offer. And later went to my internship experience in office for people who are currently at home. So an in-office experience is a lot better than an at-home experience. I'll tell you why. So when I went to Walmart, I was like under the imposter syndrome. Everyone around me, like you could see how like there were like people from all around, like who were educated from all around the world, people who had worked in companies all around the world. And like the first 2 weeks of my internship, I simply spent time just like stalking everyone on LinkedIn. That you know the kind of people that when you look at someone and you're like, yeah, I want to become that person. So those kind of people were literally like walking across my table, distinguished architects, distinguished engineers, and high level staff software engineers who, I mean, the amount of experience and knowledge they had, you could only aspire to be one of them. So my experience at Walmart was like a very enriching experience in the sense that I got to meet a lot of the bigwigs of this industry. And the Walmart office is like like around about like there only in Marathali, where all the all top companies have their offices. Microsoft, Adobe, GS is like just right beside our office. So yeah, it was a nice experience out there. About my work, so my work at Walmart involved like Spring Boot and Java, like in the very basic form, if I tell you. And I have never worked on Java before, but so initially we were given courses and all to complete so that we could have a quick onboarding and start working in an efficient way, because they don't really expect interns to start coding from day one and give them full-fledged projects. So my work involved like building a simulator for simulating order processing on e-commerce websites. So I was a part of Sam's Club, and there when an order comes on a website, you could just simulate the entire process from that point to the actual the order reaching the customer. So it was a nice experience. And best part of it was the office. You could simply just go around and look at people and just be bamboozled. Oh, that such a highly educated and experienced person is talking to you. I mean, you could just look at them and get that from their conversations, the words they use and all. So yeah, I was pretty amazed by that experience. So that's why you should always have an in-office experience. Sadly, we cannot have that.
So what was the PPO process for Walmart?
Yeah, so the PPO process for Walmart. So at the end of the first month, we did get we joined actually a bit late compared to other colleges which had already joined in early May. We joined at the end of May. So by the time we had our first month over, they already had their 2 months over. So the process was started for everyone. So the process at Walmart is that it largely depends on your work and your manager's feedback. And obviously a manager would take the feedback of your team, right? That's what my team told me, that they too contributed to my feedback when it came to the PPO process, right? So what Walmart does is takes feedbacks from managers at the end of after a certain time, and based on that they divide people into your 1 in 3 categories. Either you go for a direct hire, or you go for a interview and hire or reject, or you go for a direct reject. Okay, so fortunately I managed a direct hire because my project and all were in good steady progress. So apart from that, a couple of friends also made it after an interview, and some of them a few of them missed out for whatsoever reasons. But yeah, this is how they actually the PPOs. The way it a lot of it depends on your manager's feedback and your teammates' feedback. So again, from a work from home point of view, that might not be very possible to interact with every team member. But out there, I could just simply again grab my laptop and ask them why is this happening, or what is this and all, and things get solved pretty easily, and also helps you in team bonding and all.
So you told ki second year mein you had done internship at Hackerrank. How did you prepare for your on-campus internship?
So any interview, abhi tak to sabko pata hi chal gaya ho ki any interviews simply DS algo and couple of OS, Java, DBMS, OOPS and all. So yeah, when I was at Hackerrank, I used to spend my nights and evenings most of the time. So on GFG problems and all. However, I didn't really work as much as I should have. My Walmart interview got cleared because like I got a question which I had done already. So I would rather tell you about the process, which like I had like I was always a developer more than a competitive programmer or a DS algo guy. So this actually kind of stinged me later when I like ended my Walmart internship, that if I don't do it now, I will like I probably won't get a chance to do it ever. So I like joined a DS algo course in my 4th year. And I'll tell you how I prepared for, like I gave a Google on-site interview in January. So I'll tell you how I prepared for that, and that might compensate for like this question. So uh, again, like I joined a course, and that is like very, like I'll suggest you to like join a course or maybe take an online course. And however, like offline courses are always better. And I'm telling this to you from like an average student point of view in DS Algo. Like my DS Algo was not very good. I had already like I did spend some time in my 2nd year towards it, but again, like I didn't really find much interest in it, and I was more of a developer then. So from an average student point of view, it's very important that you join a course, because a course gives you the exact like it structures the questions, it tells you what to do, what not to do, how everything is related and all. And so yeah, I joined this course, and what was like the most important thing was that you got to submit every question you attempt. So like we used to do questions on lead code, right? So like GFG got very famous in my 2nd and 3rd year, but the thing was GFG's currently like it's very cluttered. Like you would also agree, मतलब बहुत सारे questions तुम खोलोगे, arrays के 100 questions.
Plus some of the test cases are not that great. Like कई बारी n-cube भी चल जाता है किसी question में, किसी में n-square चल जाता है.
Yeah, right. So GFG is good. GFG is good if you want to just like search up or like look up a question, because you'll definitely find it there and like get these different solutions, go to the comments and read all the answers. But for an preparation point of view, I'd suggest lead code. And like this was obviously suggested by my mentor at like the course that I had joined. And so we followed a very methodological approach where we started with DP graphs, then we went on to arrays and all. So what the most important thing here is to go out and submit every question that you attempt, because again, like you know, in my like end of the 2nd year during my Hackerrank intern, I used to just look at questions like हाँ भाई ये तो हो जाएगा, चलो next देखते हैं, तो similar सा दिखा लग रहा है. But again, जब मैं on campus बैठा intern से, वही same question submit नहीं होते थे. So this you know, like this hurts you in that very moment, and you can not do anything about it, right? So the most important thing is to just go there and submit every question and get that green tick. And like on lead code, it also compares your solutions key. It is faster than so many people. It used memory, like lesser memory than so many people. So yeah, so like we used to like I had some like 40 classes, and we used to have like 10 questions per classes. And so I attempted every question. And another important thing was that I kept the solution in a repository. So I had this GitHub repository where I maintained all the questions, like right from the class 1 to class 40, and I ensured that I submit every question. Another thing about lead code is that the community is very good there. You know, if you don't like you might submit an answer in हाँ वो pass हो गया, and but might be ranked poorly, say like 10% or 20% ही तुम्हारे वो comparison में आ रहे हैं. So what you can do is go to the submissions page and discussions page, and then you can see every solution. And people, like some of the people are very active there, and they keep posting their like most optimal approaches. So all of that helps you in interviews. Like lead code पे ठीक है, तुमने कुछ करके question pass कर लिया, which you will be able to do in a first round coding interview. But तुम्हें जब interview को समझाना होगा ना, so if you give a like they on lead code the submissions are like ranked, you know, कि this is my O square approach, this is my n login, and this is my n approach. So this like gives you an overview of all the different solutions कि हाँ ये ऐसे
plus
finally
एक चीज और थी lead code के discussions पे कई approaches बहुत ज़्यादा different होती हैं. Like तुमने कभी सोचा भी नहीं होगा कि question को ऐसे भी कर सकते हो. That's really great. Like मैंने एक stock exchange जो problems है मैंने वो देखी थी, तो लोगों ने वो state machine से भी कर रखी है. Normally you can do it with DP, but they have done it with state machines. तो तुम ऐसे सोचोगे नहीं कि तुम state machines को यहाँ पे use कर सकते हो.
हाँ मतलब ये state machines मतलब इंटरव्यू में जाके बोलना is more of an impressive point of view. मतलब तुम बोलो, बट मतलब इंटरव्यू को तो वही सीधा साधा मतलब मेथड चाहिए कि हाँ ऐसे 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 होगा. तो
हाँ मतलब नॉर्मल मेथड बताने का तुम बता सकते हो कि देखो ये ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं, तो वो बहुत इंप्रेसिव चीज हो जाती है.
दैट कैन बी लाइक द गेम चेंजर कि हाँ देखो उसने इतने सारे सॉल्यूशंस बताए, उसने ये भी बताया. तो yeah, so like towards the end of my course, I had that repository, 40 classes, every folder, 10 questions each, and all the solutions to those. So when my like Google interview came, so मैं वापस से वो repository खोली, and that was the moment when it helped me to revise it at such a quick pace. मतलब मेरे पास एक like I obviously like had notes and all to revise, but like I had to look back at code too, right? Because सब सारा कुछ तो copy में नहीं लिखते, right? तो later, like when I went on to revise, that happened like very quickly. So this was the like intention of making that like repository and all. You can simply just skim through all your solutions and see कि हाँ मैंने उस टाइम में मतलब अपना कोड देख के तो लगता है कि हाँ उस टाइम में ये करा था इसलिए ऐसे हुआ था. लाइक किसी और का कोड भी ऑब्वियसली यहाँ पे सारे कोड हैं अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन, बट you'll have to like apply some brain and think कि हाँ ऐसे 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 होगा. तो that was like what my approach was, and like towards the like last couple of days and all मैंने बस like skim करे अपने जो notes थे कि मतलब उसमें like DP में like you have a lot of formulas, right? Again like I was not a very good DSIO guy, तो DP के कुछ 40-50 questions मैंने अच्छे से एकदम मतलब याद टाइप्स कर लिए थे, which also like at 40-50 वाला stage it helps you to build more questions very easily. Like you can identify कि हाँ ये question अच्छा ये उस category का है तो हाँ ऐसे हो जाएगा. So this is
रिलेशन बनाना is easier ऐसे कि तुम्हें पहले से थोड़ा आइडिया है कैसे करना है, right. कि सिमिलर क्वेश्चन मिल गया, कॉइन एक्सचेंज पढ़ा हुआ है, कॉइन एक्सचेंज जैसा कोई और क्वेश्चन आ गया,
राइट. So मतलब all this helps कि हाँ तुमने मतलब it helps to build those parallelisms, हाँ ये same question है ऐसा हो जाएगा. Like this happened actually in my like Google interview. So yeah, this was like the strategy I followed. कि join a course, submit every single question, make a repository, and when you have the like interview, just skim through that repository at a very fast pace. Like hardly will take like for the first time it will take like a couple of weeks, second time 1 week. फिर मतलब वो एक टाइम पे होता है कि तुम एक दो दिन में ही पूरा मतलब वो स्किम कर सकते हो. Like I also like gave a couple more rounds of other companies. इनके इंटरव्यू फिर वो पेंडिंग होते चले गए thanks to COVID, and अभी तक नहीं हुए. But yeah, so that was like the approach I followed for like अगर एकदम से आगे के अगले दिन इंटरव्यू है तो ऐसे कर सकते.
So you are currently working at Walmart, right? So how is the work culture, work experience there?
So yeah, like I joined Walmart like been a like couple of months, like not really a couple of months, say 40-50 days. So currently अभी तो like training वगैरह ही चल रहा है. Like I haven't really started with hands-on code, but like one thing about Walmart is like when you come to Walmart you have to think scale. Like Walmart like on an average serves 275 million customers per week, like 275 million transactions per week. So if you put that into a like year-based view, तो तुमको दिख रहा होगा कि it reaches to $14 billion, right? So like working at Walmart is like all about innovation and optimizing. Like अगर वो like if that 2 lines of code save you 1 cent, ठीक है, when you put that scale of 14 billion, that saves you millions of dollars, right? If you like check the Fortune list, look at the Fortune 1 company. So Walmart has been there like for a couple of like for quite some time now actually, and that is like at that scale when you're working, every single line of code counts, every single optimization counts. So that is like what I'm expecting. I'm like probably getting back to my same team, so work should be around that like same domain, etc. Yeah, eagerly waiting.
You said कि you are more of a development kind of a guy, right? So yeah, right. Competitive के लिए there are contests, and we know development के लिए there are hackathons. So have you participated in any hackathon, and like can you share that experience?
right. So starting with my second year, like first year मेरा थोड़ा waste सा चला गया था. So starting with my second year, I thought कि यार सबने तो coding कर ली first year में, अब मैं coding अभी start करूँगा तो might get too late. Wrong decision, like not really a wrong decision, but at that point I thought I'll start with development. So I started with my development. I joined a like course and all, and by December, like in my third semester, yeah, I completed that course. And then like NSIT में there was a hackathon, so participated in Hackerrank, and fortunately, like it was my first hackathon, and like we made it to the finals and eventually like came third. So that was a very like that was one of the most like changing views of like me as a guy in the college, because more people got to know me, and obviously like my DS algo was pretty shit, and development was one thing that I could have vouched for. Again, later I also like took parts in other hackathons in my like fifth semester. तेरे साथ भी एक hackathon में गया था. So yeah, right. So took part in like Microsoft's hackathon and BVP hackathon. Like usually I like most of the times I made it to the last round, like almost always. And in my like sixth semester, I guess, sixth semester, I went to SIH, like Smart India Hackathon, and like our problem statement was selected like that had the most number of submissions. So we were actually surprised that we made it to the on-sites, and then we went there. So like I'll just tell you a small hackathon strategy that I like generally use. So first thing about the hackathon is it's more about what the judges want than what you want to present. Okay, so whenever you go to a hackathon, and I learned this from a friend of mine, like Devansh, my friend. So he kind of told me that first thing should be to go to the judges and ask them what are they looking for. Like obviously you go with a like plan and like framework and everything ki haan ye banana hai and all. But initially you should just go to the judges and ask ki haan like what are you exactly looking for? What is the exact problem that you're targeting? So that like end of the day they are the people who will judge you, right? So you got to like fulfill their needs at least. So that was like my number one strategy for hackathons. Another thing, so other things like at hackathons, what help is again it's more about what you present than what you actually make. Like initially, when I hackathons mein jata tha, like most of the senior guys used to come and bluff everything, and end of the day they used to be winners. So I'm not saying you got to bluff everything, but you got to be smart in the sense that you got to present it in a very good way. So that is what we did at like when I participated in this SparkPlug hackathon at Walmart, which was like a like national level hackathon, and we came first, which again like was like we won a lot of goodies from that, and also like laptop. So that was a like very good experience. So again, what I'm telling you is it's more about your presentation. So focus more on the front end and focus more on what the judges will see. No one is expecting you to build an end-to-end product for in those 24 or 36 hours या जो भी है, like month-long hackathon है, कुछ भी है. No one is expecting कि सारे पूरा framework बना होगा, security has been like adhered to, scalability has been adhered to. नहीं. People are looking for what the picture they have in their mind. They want to see that in front out there. So what's more important is to like present it in a very good way. And end of the day, these hackathons, like most of the hackathons are sponsored by companies, right? They are more into the idea than the actual implementation. Like they have their developers and teams who will build products which are much better than ours, right? What they are looking is the bare bones structure. So focus on like making a simple like bare bones structure, and then focus more on the UI part, what you will display and what you'll present, and that will surely like get you to a lot more hackathons, like win you a lot more hackathons. Like I won like I participated in close to like 8 or 9, and like obviously like always made to the last round and won like 3 or 4 of them. So yeah, it was a very nice experience. And hackathons like obviously give you that break from college studies कि मतलब तुम हमारा भी monotonous routine चल रहा है, college जा रहे हो आ रहे हो. So hackathons like they those 1 or 2 days are like really like good, like
काफी अच्छा experience होता है, like you're coding straight for 24 hours वहीं पे पड़े हो,
and there's a lot of food, Red Bulls, मतलब सब आ रहा है, सब चल रहा है. So yeah, it's a very good experience.
Always try going to hackathons. तो एक बार तो experience करना ही चाहिए. अच्छा लगता है college लाइफ.
एक बार तुम free हो जाओ, placements, interviews, या मैंने तो जैसे second, third year में काफी participate किया था, but it's not like strict thing. मतलब जब भी तुम्हारा मन हो, you should definitely go to one hackathon at least, see what it's like, and try and win it. That should be good.
ठीक है. So what are your suggestions for juniors?
Yeah, so my suggestions for juniors. So yeah, one thing throughout my college life is I always had like someone to ask questions, someone to approach. So one very important thing in college life is to get like know people, your seniors, know your juniors, and interact with them. And how that happens is like most like not it's not possible for everyone to just go out and approach people and talk. There are different kinds of people everywhere. So what's the most important thing in college? Join at least at least one society, because a society gives you access to people who are not your classmates. When you're with your classmates all the time, you like same branch, same subjects, same everything, you don't get to know what's going out like in other classes, in other people's like lives and all. So joining a society gives you a very like it gives you an access to a lot of resources and access to your seniors, your juniors. And asking your seniors doubts is very important, because like whenever you have a doubt, just go and approach a senior, because they have been through that where you are currently, right? So even like Nishant, to be like Crescendo ki wajah se hi, we met for the first time, right? So having a senior is like it makes your job a bit easier, because you can learn from their mistakes, and apart from that, you have some chill people to hang out with, right? Because you don't want to be around those same group of people all the time, and same subject, and discussing the same routines and everything. So yeah, so that is what a society gives you, and more importantly, it gives you people skills, right? Like most of the people watching this video would like him to be a techie or something, and techies generally lack those people skills, but those are also very important in life. And you just can't sit there and code all day and think ki haan ho jayega, par ho jayega. Nahin. You got to talk to people, you got to build contacts, build connections. So societies give you that experience of like building your people skills. Apart from that, other advice is that there's simply no substitute for DS Algo. I got to learn it the hard way in my 4th year, but you guys don't have to do that. There's a reason why like most of those big people suggest for that like ideal path. First do DS Algo, then do dev, and then go to other fields like ML, AI, and all. So yeah, there's no substitute for DS Algo, and like fortunately my life was still revolving around development, and I managed to get both my internships and all using that. But again, you like there's no escaping DS Algo, and that is why I had to get back to it again in my 4th year, because I knew कि अभी नहीं किया तो फिर फिर वो कभी नहीं हो पाएगा. And again, just like DS Algo, there's no excuse for a low GPA. Like I obviously कॉलेज में आते हैं 12 साल की पढ़ाई के बाद, एंड वो जेई मेंस पार कर करके, तो पीपल आर लाइक भाई अब तो थोड़ा आराम कर ले. तो again, like my highest CGPA that I ever got was like for a long time it used to be my first semester. So but I never had that guidance from other people कि CGPA is also important. I mean it's not a very strict rule कि हाँ सब कुछ 9 से ऊपर चाहिए. Like for our college like getting a 9+ aggregate CGPA is like very
difficult,
and it's like a lot. It's like very difficult. So CGPA का कोई substitute नहीं है. It helps you get past applicants when interviews are in a fixed. Like अगर वो same application पड़ी होगी and they'll be thinking यार इसको लेना है या इसको लेना है, तो a better CGPA might help you get past through it. And I did work on my CGPA later in like the 3rd and 4th years, and managed a decent one. So मतलब CGPA से खिलवाड़ मत करो, बहुत काम आएगी. ऐसा मतलब just try and put it through a above average level, and that should be good enough. मतलब that also helps you like clearing those first rounds of companies. And although जो लोग कहते हैं ना कि CGPA matter नहीं करती, हाँ मतलब I do have friends who are in better places even with a poor CGPA, but not everyone's life works like that. So, and like the last advice would be like, might sound very cliched, enjoy your college life. Okay, so I spent like 3 years, like most of it revolved around work. Like 3rd year I did some research and all, and second year like I was again busy in different things. I thought कि हाँ 4th year में तो chill मारना ही है, and started with this 7th semester, went on a few like night outs and went on a few trips and all. And फिर आ गया COVID, so all those plans were put to a halt. And I do kind of think at times कि हाँ थोड़ा और enjoy कर सकते थे. मतलब ये like again sounding very cliche, but जब तुम 4th year पार कर लोगे तो तुम्हें समझ आएगा कि हाँ ये अब वापस नहीं आएगा टाइम. अब तो मतलब all our friend groups and all, अब snaps भी सब सारी coding की आ रही होती है कि सब office laptop खोल के बैठे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं. तो like obviously you have the money, you have the power, but you don't have that time now, because तुम्हें like हाँ तुम्हें मतलब एक दिन तो पूरा spend, मतलब दिन का time तो spend करना ही पड़ेगा with your job, because you have it and they are paying you for that, and Friday to Friday will be your life. So college में it's very important to just like take breaks at times and just go and chill out. Very important. Yeah.
So thank you very much. It was like really nice talking to you.
Thanks, Nishant.